honesty.
Do your job and hold his mic for a minute. What was so funny about someone actually dropping a dog on his head? What's wrong with that? Funny? That's not funny.
Wait, but you don't understand.
You know what?
Wait,
this guy caught me at the wrong time.
No, you don't understand. Wait,
take it to the car.
Take it back. You want to take it back? No, take it to the car. Wait, I take it back. I take it back, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No.
Sabotage.
No.
Best bodies in the business. Watch. And watch real good. No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Yo, you don't understand.
I swear to God, if you ever look our way, smirk or anything, you think...
The minute we come in this building, you go the other way.
Guys, money. Guys, I promise. Yo, you want money? I'll give you guys anything.
Yo, your money.
Yo.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, come on, Earl. That's not fair. Oh, he's attacking Don Tony. Oh, he hit him. They hit him with the cannoli tray. He's laid out. Without Grim Reaper here, what are they going to do? Oh, Heartless. Oh, my God. Handcuffs by Tony. Tony Lowe has him. Tony Lowe and Joe's so delicious. They handcuffed on Tony and Grim Reaper. There's nothing they can do. Grim Reaper's gone. Come on, just stop this.
Before we get to anything else,
oh, Joe's so delicious.
It's time for a little Q&A for my dog, Don Tony. Don Tony, who do you think will be in the dog this month? How's about you suck my...
Oh my goodness, look at this, look at this. They're just rubbing it in.
To suck.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's alright. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.
Every Thursday night, you ask the questions, DT gives you his answers. No holds barred.
It's Q&A with Don Tony. This is your chance to speak your mind and be heard about anything.
Q&A with Don Tony. And now, your host, Don Tony.
A few of you said that you liked the jacket. So in 35 seconds, I went to the garage and got it and ran back over here just in time for the show. Yeah, I still have it. It looks brand new. And that's because it went out of style in my neck of the woods as quickly as it came in. We're going to have a fun show. Got to give a couple of shout outs right off the bat. Bourbon Bruce. Wow. Not only did he become a supporter, he joined the family just like that. Double whammy. What's up, Bourbon? What's up, everybody? It is Thursday night, March 18th, 2021. I am back once again. AMA, Q&A, TNA, whatever. We're going to have a fun show. Yes. That was more vintage yours truly. The jacket is a lot looser now. I can actually go around this way. But yeah, I think we're going to have to take it off. This freaking thing is heavy. You know, somebody offered me $200 for a jacket a couple of years ago. It's brand new. Racing jacket. But everything is sewed in. They're all patches. But I kept it. I don't know why. I think I told you all the other day, I'm a little bit of a hoarder. I admit it. I'm a little bit of a hoarder. And honestly, probably because I hoarded is the reason why you're getting to enjoy some of this old wrestle crap with me in indie wrestling. Because trust me, and I don't want no sympathies, it made me a tougher person. I will never, ever regret the negative shit that was thrown my way back in the day. But believe me when I tell you, and when I start showing you more Frank Goodman footage, you'll realize very quickly that if this was me or if this was anyone else, you probably would have just burned all those tapes. You would have thrown away all that footage. People telling you you're god-awful, you suck, you're a money mark, you're a drug dealer, you're this, anything to try to break you. Didn't work. I stuck it out, and my God, the footage I have for you today, I really think you're going to enjoy it. It's about 20 minutes long, and it's all top-notch stuff. Yeah, I put Britt Baker as the new emoji. Yeah, as we get more members, I can add more emojis. So to everyone who joined the family over the last couple of days, that's why we got the Britt emoji. We're 24 hours removed now from that match. And I wasn't joking. I don't tweet for attention. I tweet to express myself once in a while, give you a little insight on my brain and what's going on during the day. But this morning I woke up and I didn't turn the news on. I didn't check the weather. I decided to watch Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa again. Wanted to watch it closely. And listen, I have been watching wrestling since '79. I brought it up yesterday. I remember the first ever women's main event on Raw, which was Stephanie versus Lita, which was 3 minutes of, not much of anything. And then you got little progression, Trish, Lita, later on Sasha, and everybody we have today. But I tell you, of all the main events, and yes, maybe because I like a little bit of hardcore, when you see the footage later on and you see me getting whipped with a belt, you see me handcuffed, kicked, in the face, not intentionally, but sometimes they connect pretty hard. Loved every minute of it. And as crazy as this sounds, I'm telling you, it might sound weird, but I personally think that Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, as much as that was painful, as much as that shit hurt, I know what it feels like to get thumbtacks in your ears and your head, your neck, and your shoulders, and your arms, and your hands. The hands are the worst. Get thumbtacks here, it's the worst. Especially later on. You ever get a paper cut? Imagine getting 20 or 30 paper cuts. I have this feeling that it was an even bigger adrenaline rush. You get injured, even if it's accidentally, and you know that you're creating not only a magical moment, but history. That drives you, man. And I'm telling you, I think Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker loved every minute of that match yesterday. And bravo to them. Bravo to them. Oh my God, it looks like a flag over here. Because I'm looking at, I have some additional settings and some shout outs coming in a moment. But Yeah, you know what? I owe Anthony Diaz yesterday. So, yes, we carried over the new little setup. Anthony Diaz, wait a minute. Why is this a message? Oh, God, don't tell me I screwed that up. All right, hang on a second, everyone. I must fix this. If I don't fix this, I will be very disappointed for the whole show, especially with everybody that has said, there we go. There we go. If you're enjoying the show, smash that like button. The more you do it, the more you're telling YouTube that you enjoy the show, and the more you do this to the haters out there. So, now, we got the contest tonight. I have it right here. It's right here. JSA authentication. I actually took a little snapshot for anybody that wants to see a little better picture of it. That is the January 2000 WWF Raw Magazine Rising Stars. Edge, Christian, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. If any of you out there, and it's autographed by all four of them. If any of you out there, and if you don't like any of them, look, there's sizzling photos of Miss Kitty on the prowl. I'm sure Jerry Lawler loves that. Did you ever think 21 years later, all four of those guys are still doing it? Yes, Edge had many years off, as did Christian, but to see all four of them, especially what they were doing at that time, they had no business surviving past 2005, career-wise. I'm not saying life. How can you knock the fact, that they can still go? They're not embarrassing themselves. Maybe you don't like the way Jeff Hardy is treated on WWE TV. Christian, we saw the Royal Rumble performance, phenomenal. How could you complain? Edge, we saw not only the Royal Rumble, but the day after, and tomorrow we get to see him against Jey Uso. These guys are taking this shit seriously. They're taking it seriously. You could see that. Matt Hardy, he's enjoying himself. I know a lot of people think that Matt Hardy's use in AEW sucks and this and that, but at this stage of his career, is it really all that bad? He's a millionaire. He's got a family with children. He doesn't want to kill his body anymore. He still has a role, and he's enjoying himself. That's what life is all about. Seriously, these are not robots on TV. For all of you out there, when you read, and I don't think I'm going to use goofs anymore. I think I'm going to have to use schnooks, like that Goodfellas. By the way, you see that animation? I couldn't watch it. The person that made it for me made it as a tribute to my dog. This is a real picture of my dog. And yes, I shaved my head for charity about a dozen or so years ago. But, I put my dog down, a couple of years back, still tormented to this day. And you want to see yours truly totally start wailing and crying, make me start watching that video paying tribute to my dog. Or there's one video of my parents that always gets me every time. But I had somebody make me Goodfellas music. The guy sounds just like Ray Liotta. And I wrote the lyrics to that. I wrote it, and I know Left Twix, I know you would love, and I have no problem that you say that, but I know you would love for me to start naming names. I don't have to name names, but you listen to those words closely. Your enemies come with smiling faces. They portray themselves as the most wonderful people in the world, and they're nothing but snakes in the end. And it's not like the movies. You get rid of so-called friends, or you get rid of acquaintances, business partners. You don't give 30-day notice. You kick them in the fucking street. Seriously. You know how many people I've had to do that to? And the most amazing thing about it is on Twitter, I unfollowed. Over the last 2 years, I unfollowed about 500 people. Some of them I like, but too much complaining, too much negativity, too much attention, attempts at attention, tweets. So I just don't want it on my wall. And I have muted most of them. Then I said to myself, if I'm muting them and I'm not seeing what they write, why am I following them? I'm not going to follow people to get follow backs. If I wanted to, I could follow 100,000 people right now get about 80% of them to follow me back. And then what do? Brag to the world? I got 100,000 followers? No. Too old for that. But, that person made the Goodfellas stuff, and I added it to the graphic. The graphic was never intended to have audio with it. But, I love it. I love it. I love the little things that we're doing on this page. I love the interaction with all of you out there. And we are going to have a fun show. I will be throwing the chat room on the screen in a moment. But before I do that, SOFLYBMORE, he bought his first stocks today. SOFLY. My God, you have no idea, man. You and I are like walking the same path right now. I swear on a stack of Bibles, I will show it to you in about a week or two, once it's all completed. But I had a long talk with my father about a week ago. You know the deal with his heart and everything. And he's like, look, he doesn't know how much time he's got left. None of us do. And he gave me the phone number for his financial advisor that's pretty much got him set with investments for life. And I called the financial advisor about a week ago, and he asked me how much I had in the bank. I said, well, I have about $1,400 in a week, and I got it. But I said, no, I have very little. I have a lot of credit card debt. I could pay off my credit cards right now, but then I'm left with nothing in the bank in case something goes wrong. Long story short, he's setting me up an account to be my financial advisor. He's setting up an IRA for me. I'm going to give him $600 a month, and that's going to be put away towards retirement, even though I think it's a really stupid idea because I'm already old. I mean, how much money is it going to generate before I retire? I don't know how many years I'm going to be doing stuff, with the office. But he's now going to invest money in stocks. So I have not had a chance yet to look at what he wants to invest in. But I will say this. He asked me about Bitcoin. And I know a lot of you are aware of Bitcoin. I owned a small amount of Bitcoin a while back. I showed a screenshot of it. And what happened with me with Bitcoin, just to tell a very quick story, is, and remember, Thursday nights, they're all your shows, but this especially, whatever you feel like talking about, that's where the conversations go today. Could be all wrestling, could be no wrestling. Obviously, there's going to be at least a half hour of wrestling, but we talk about whatever. But about 12, 13 years ago, maybe 14 years ago, whenever Bitcoin first came on the scene, might have even been 15 years ago, I used to trade a lot of music. I'm a big collector of old school hip-hop music, house music, hip house, techno, white label stuff, and I used to trade music with people all around the world. There was a guy that had one of the biggest servers that people were signing up for, and it cost about, I think it was $49 for a year, or for 3 years, something like that. He only accepted Bitcoin. So at the time, I bought $100 worth of Bitcoin. I gave him half of it. I had $49 left over. To me, it wasn't a big amount. And I said, okay, well, if I ever want to buy something in the future that they only take Bitcoin, I got $49 sitting there. I totally forgot about the money for about 10 years. Then I started hearing about Bitcoin exploding 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it was. And I said, oh, I remember I had a little Bitcoin. So now this is like 12, 13, 14 years gone by, and the account, I haven't touched it. I haven't looked at it. I try to log in. It's telling me that it's going to text me a code number, but I gave them my home phone back then. So I'm like, they can't text it to my home telephone number. It's not a cell. And I'm trying to get support, and days are going by. So finally, after a week, and Mish knows the whole story because I was showing him screenshots along the way. About a week later, they finally get back to me and they said, okay, send us a copy of your driver's license so we know it's you. Send this, send this, send this, and we'll change the phone number to your cell. They changed it. I logged in, and it was like $7,000 worth of Bitcoin sitting in there. I freaking cashed it in about 30 minutes later. Put in the cell. Had $7,000 of Bitcoin just sitting there. Now, there was like a tiny little smidgen left over. I have no idea what's in there, but I'd be shocked if it was more than $100. Do I regret selling it? A little bit, but there's like people thinking that Bitcoin could go as high as $400,000. Right now, I think Bitcoin is like 60 grand for one. I would never, ever, for virtual currency, ever spend that kind of money on Bitcoin. So I personally think you got to look at today's environment. A year ago, I think you definitely invest in streaming TV services. I would get away from things that'll be in the past. Years ago, I told my father to invest in Amazon. 20 some odd years ago, I told him to invest in eBay. I don't know how much he invested or not, but if you are very astute, very knowledgeable as far as what is trending online with the gaming and other things, you could kind of see what companies that are very small right now that have the potential to explode wide open. I would start out very, very small. And if you do make a little bit of profit, take that profit and reinvest. And, but just keep in mind that if you withdraw any of it, you got to pay taxes on it. A lot of people don't understand that if you invest, let's say $10,000 in the stock market, and you make $10,000, and you take that $10,000 out, you got to pay taxes on it. Now, let's say you have $10,000 invested in the stock market, you increase it another 10, but then let's say the stock market drops, and then you still withdraw. Even though you took a loss, whatever you withdraw, you still got to pay tax on. That's why what a lot of investors do is at the end of the year, if you want to withdraw money, they will take whatever stocks you have that have lost during the year and they will sell it. Because they sell it, you could report that loss on your taxes. And then what does the investor do? He buys it right back the beginning of the year. This way you could report that loss. You got the stock back pretty much at the same price you sold it for. Believe me when I tell you, everyone, I never spent a lot of time in the stock market. I had WWE stock a very long time ago. I bought it when it was like $9.80 a share or something like that. And I sold it, I think it was only $11 or $12 a share. I didn't make much of anything. I had no idea what WWE would turn into with the network and everything else. But I also tried out penny stocks. I never really got into it all that much, but I will say this. Even though I used to be a big Trump supporter, most of you know that, I changed my views as the years went by, and I didn't vote for him last year. But when you see a lot of people on the left, like AOC and others, which I don't like at all, but when you see AOC and others saying that over the last 2 years or a year and a half during COVID, that the rich made the bulk of the wealth, it's actually true when you start looking into the stock market and investments and everything like that. The rich made a killing the last 2 years. And, if Biden starts raising taxes, that's going to kill a lot of people as well, financially. But that's not an exaggeration. The amount of money that was made by the rich out there is insane. Connor, what's going on, Connor? Thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate it. I hope everything is good with you. Trust me, your schedule is a little different than mine. I got to get up at 6:30 every morning, and I'm really pushing the envelope every day when I here late. But I see sometimes when I'm wrapping it up, you're about to start gaming and everything. And, I want to stop by and hang out a little bit. I just got to work out the schedule a little more. I don't want you to change yours to appease me, but we definitely need to do something in the near future, even if it's one episode, just to talk about whatever. Seriously, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm setting up a lot of little things here to, to start breaking this out a little bit. We're starting to, get familiar with a couple little things, and, we'll be definitely doing something very, very soon. We're definitely going to do that. But I want to thank you very much. And all of you out there, check out his YouTube channel, OKFabe. Did a lot of wrestling podcasts in the past. Now focusing more on gaming because gaming is fun. Seriously, it's fun. You don't have to be perfect at it. In fact, people are trying to get me to do it, and I'm like, no, I would suck. And they're like, but no, but you don't understand. If you really suck, people will watch you to watch you fail. I don't know if that's kind of like the formula that I was thinking of, to be honest with you. Steve Joseph, is Cuomo still Teflon? Yeah, he is still Teflon. He is still Teflon. I brought this up on Patreon Tuesday, and I'll just say it like this. And by the way, we are going to do the contest a little bit earlier tonight. Once again, for those that may have joined us late, you have the opportunity tonight to win that WWF Raw magazine signed by Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Edge, and Christian. It is JSA authenticated, so you know it is 100% legit. If that doesn't rock your boat, you could go for a cash prize instead. I could spin the wheel. I could spin the balls. We'll do that very, very soon. I'll give you a hint, everyone. I'll give you a hint with tonight's contest. Wrestler initials. Initials of wrestlers. That is the hint for tonight. We'll do that soon. But for all of you out there that remember Kavanaugh, that is now a Supreme Court judge, remember he was accused of rape, and that woman that said that he did, things drinking and blacked out and stuff like that. Now, me, I don't believe it. I just don't buy it. But I ask you all in the chat room right now, simple yes or no. Simple yes or no. And there is no wrong answer. Simple yes or no type. Do you think Brett Kavanaugh should have stepped down from being a nominee for Supreme Court Justice simply because somebody accused him of that behavior? Do you think, whether you're Democrat or Republican, honestly, do you think he should have stepped down, or do you think he should have fought? All right. Like I said, there is no wrong answer. All right. If you feel yes, he should have, that's cool. You feel no, that's cool also. So as everybody's writing that, I ask you a second question now. Okay. So this is what everybody's answering. My second question, and it's yes or no, is you see what's going on right now with Cuomo, with the accusations. Should Cuomo step down right now? Yes or no? And, like I said, there's no wrong answer. However you feel, nobody's going to... Look, this is not a show or a chat room where you get criticized. We don't allow that. Here's my point. For anyone out there that was consistent, yes on both sides or no on both sides, all right, props to you for the simple reason that, Kavanaugh... you might look at him as Republican, Trump's pick. Cuomo, Democrat, opposite side of the aisle. My point is you see a lot of people out there that wanted to give Kavanaugh the benefit of the doubt. And, no, he shouldn't step aside. No, he shouldn't step aside. This is the left conspiracy trying to get rid of him. A woman lied. Another woman lied. But when it comes to Cuomo, no, he should resign. He should step down. If you're really offended or you really feel that the accusations are that bad, doesn't matter which side of the aisle the person is on. You either feel they should step aside or not. And the thing with Cuomo, in my opinion, is see, I live in New York, and I was very young when his father, Mario Cuomo, was our governor. And from what I remember as a kid, a lot of people liked Mario Cuomo. A lot of people liked him. But, it's not like Andrew Cuomo just came on the scene a couple of years ago. This guy's been around for decades. And, there's no history of this guy being an abuser. He's a single guy. And, his interpretation, You know, if he's talking to someone else who's single, I understand the work environment, you know, there's do's and don'ts, you know, but my point is that, you know, if you're out at a party and there's all single people and you mingle and have a drinks and this and that, you know, sometimes you get the wrong vibes. That doesn't mean that you committed behavior. And I'm not sticking up for him. I have no idea what he did or didn't do. My point is, you look at the world as a whole. You look at the world as a whole. We have grown up a whole generation of sissies. A whole generation that you need crayons to draw on a sidewalk to make you feel better. And I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about college students. When people would say, oh, give them hot chocolate, safe space, and this and that. This has been brewing for decades. 15 plus years ago, I said the pussification of America is coming. All right. So the point is that, and I'll use this for an example. You know, back when I was in like first or second grade, one time I pulled this girl's hair, just play fighting and, you know, playing around in the schoolyard, and I pulled her hair and I ran away. I don't know if I had a crush on her. I was 7 or 6, whatever your age is at that time. Now that could be considered like sexual harassment or abuse, or, you know, it's outrageous, some of the things that they accuse, you know, people of today with little kids, you know. So I just feel that, look, I don't know what the truth is with this, but all I know is that he's been around for decades and there was never any real inklings that he was doing any bad behavior. You know, I think there's a lot of people that are very angry at him for the nursing home stuff. And maybe the nursing home, yeah, Brian, I did talk about this on Tuesday, but that was Patreon and this is YouTube. So my friends over here, not all of them are on Patreon and vice versa. So somebody asked a question here, I answered a question here. 2 different areas, 2 different networks. So, but my point is that, you know, let the facts come out. If this guy should step down for anything, it's his carelessness with the nursing home. But I will say this, I don't like Cuomo at all. But half of our state feels that he should not step down. This is turning into a Bill Clinton situation. Bill Clinton became more popular with the Monica Lewinsky trial. With everything going on, he became more popular. I'm not saying that Cuomo will be more popular, but what I told all of you a month ago is happening. Remember I said that he's going to start opening things up and making this announcement, you know, to try to keep the attention away from himself. And I know what you're going to say, oh, yeah, that's politics and that's this. Yeah, it's still wrong, but it's happening. And a lot of New Yorkers are like, I don't give a shit if it's happening. If I could go back to work, if I could go to a restaurant, if I could do this and I could do that, if, you know, I'm one of those that I think a restriction should be lifted everywhere. But you could keep the masks mandatory. I said over a year ago that leave the restaurants open, force them to have plastic barricades between each booth or each table, and if somebody doesn't wear a mask, fine them $50. That's it. Simple. I went to Mohegan Sun, Connecticut last year 3 times during COVID, 3 times. And I went in there and I took pictures of sitting and having a drink in the center. And every booth had a plexiglass divided on all sides. They mopped the floor, they sprayed the air, they wiped the tables down. We were watching and seeing what they were doing after customers left. You walk in, they temperature check. They have all these scanners going around that you don't even know. There's beams of light all going through you. They're checking everybody's temperatures. Nothing happened whatsoever. They never had a problem. Instead of our states, and I'm sure a lot of you overseas, Devin M., oh man, big loss in his family this week, haven't been around, and he's shouting out Austin, SoFly, Darren. Oh man, I'm sorry, Devin. And I feel bad that you had the super chat to say that, but you know, my thoughts are with you, my brother. You know, it's rough. It's rough. I know this is kind of indirectly, But for my local friends in New York, maybe this doesn't apply to you, but maybe it may apply to a friend of yours or a neighbor or a relative. I heard on the news today that they're going to set up a fund in April that if you had a loved one pass away because of COVID, they're going to pay for your funeral expenses. You got to show proof of your expenses. You got to show a death certificate, but you could get reimbursed for funeral expenses. Heard that on the news today. I haven't looked it up to see how much of it is, substantial, but some of you out there, you might not be aware of that, so that might be something you want to look into. So, so I really apologize, Devin. That really sucks. I don't even want to know what it was. I just, whether it's COVID or anything else, I just hope whatever it was, the person didn't suffer, because that's the worst. That is the worst. No, I know, Darren. He chose the super chat. I know. I just, I feel guilty sometimes, But anyway, just to wrap up the Cuomo stuff. I feel the looking back on Trump, because Trump had this attitude that we're bigger than the virus. We're not going to let the virus keep us down. Let's show the virus that, they're not going to change our lives. That was such a huge mistake, because it gave this aura that too cool to get vaccinated. Vaccinated is for the weak. That I could walk around, see, I don't have a mask on and I'm not going to get sick. And even if I do, should have pushed the freaking vaccines like crazy since day one. Just that should have been the complete focus. The minute they got approved, I don't care if it cost $1 trillion. Trust me when I tell you, every single one of you out there, all right, if you had a choice 6 months ago, $600 or $1,200, stimulus check, or a freaking vaccine. Or for the people that don't believe in vaccines, if you had a choice of getting stimulus money or a guarantee that you couldn't catch the virus, which would you take? I would have taken the vaccine, or a guarantee that I couldn't get sick like that. Instead, they just sat on it and sat on it and sat. They should have made deals with every fucking pharmaceutical company out there to get something out there. Vaccine all the way. The cure. It's not just the physical side of it, it's the emotional side of it as well. DJ White Sox, who's worse, de Blasio or Cuomo? De Blasio. De Blasio is so predictable, trying to go against Cuomo to try to, act like, oh no, that, I'm totally against that. He is even worse than Cuomo. My views on it is I'm just going to enjoy myself, enjoy my family, my fiance, all of you, my hobbies, just try to enjoy life. I don't give a shit what happens with the government. I don't care what happens with the government. There ain't nothing that I'm going to be able to do that's going to change this government in my lifetime. So I could get something and I'm entitled to it. I take it. That $1,400, what am I going to do with it? I'll probably put a little bit towards bills, and I'm using it to go away. I'm going away from April 2nd to April 6th. I'm going away. That's it. I'm going to take that money. I'm going to spend it in Connecticut. Guardian of Chaos, Trump did more than anyone else to get the vaccine? Yes, absolutely. No question. But, we made a deal, $100 million in 6 months. You see what I mean? Let's be honest. Trump obviously is the reason why this vaccine was created so quickly. There's no denying that. But there was never that aura by him or the Republican Party that priority number one, vaccinated. Half of them wouldn't wear masks. They thought masks were uncool. They wouldn't wear masks. People were getting sick. You had 100,000, 200,000 dying and still not wearing a mask because in Trump's eyes, the mask was weakness. Let's be honest. The mask was weakness. If the mask wasn't weakness, you would have had 95% of people in that government wearing masks. They wouldn't wear. He even said to reporters, take the mask off. I had customers say that to me. I had elderly customers in my neighborhood. I already told you all that story. Early on last year, I was in my office and there was one old guy, Italian guy, big Trump supporter. He's sitting in my office and I have my mask on. He has his mask on and I'm asking him some questions for insurance related. And he's like, huh? So I said it again. And he's like, take the fucking mask off. He's like, it's just both of us here. I said, no, I'm going to leave it on. He's like, why? You think I have the virus? I said, no, it's not that. I have other customers coming in. What if one of them has it? I don't want to give it to you. I don't want to give it to my family. And the guy's like, he got mad that I wouldn't take the mask off. Come on. Seriously? I'm vaccinated. I'm immune now. I got my second shot was the middle of February. I'm good. I have not changed one thing about me. And it's weird. It's weird, but this is the God honest truth. If I go to a supermarket now, if I go to a grocery store, I go to the bank, to the post office, I go somewhere, UPS, wherever it is, I put the mask on, and never once have I said to myself, I don't need to wear the mask, I'm vaccinated. The only time I feel that way is when I'm around my family. We don't keep the mask on in our house. They should have pushed the masks early on and should have dropped everything and just get that vaccine out there. Hundreds of millions, not 100 million in 6 months. So looking back on it, there should have been a lot more done. Is it true that Trump never even used the Defense Production Act as far as the vaccines go? So, there's a lot of things to look back on, but, the bottom line is that things are getting better. As I mentioned yesterday, everything that Mish and I said Monday about the delay with WrestleMania tickets was exactly what we said it was. Exactly. Tomorrow, when I get into these, because I don't have the information in front of me, I did get the email back from WWE Corporate. What I said 2 weeks ago, as far as what's going to happen with these, was correct as well. You're going to be able to redeem it for another gift card. Amazon, possibly WWE Shop, maybe gas stations, Dunkin' Donuts. You got one of these, you go to a website, you type in the code, and you could use that towards something else. Nobody's going to get screwed out of that money. So, anyway, let's see. All right, let's get into, oh, you know what? My apologies, everyone. My apologies. Hold on. Yeah, that's more like it. And that's more like it. That's more like it. All right. Now, I do apologize again because I got to do this. Steve Joseph, do I really think the federal minimum wage goes to $15? 1 million jobs will be lost. It's very possible that it goes to $15. Isn't it right now like $7 an hour? I mean, the funny thing about it is, if it's just federal workers, I don't think you're going to see as many jobs lost as you think. Because federal workers, all they got to do is raise taxes. All they got to do is raise something here and there, and that's where they make up the money. If they make it required that all employees, the minimum wage is $15, then that's different. But if it's just federal workers, $15, I honestly don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that with federal workers. Look, when I was a kid, I showed you all in 1991, I took the police test, and I passed it. I passed the police test. I showed it on video about a month or so ago. My mom found the card and the score and everything, and I didn't go. I chickened out. I could have been a cop. But the thing is that the number one reason why I was going in is because my father was telling me, look at the money you make. You got job security, retirement, everything else. And my father said to me for 2-3 decades, work for the city, work for the city, work for the city. You'll make more money, you'll be set, your retirement, benefits, everything like that. So you do work for the government. Yeah, if they want to pay you $15 an hour, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I mean, you know, and let's also be honest. Let's also be honest. I mean, I don't know how much you all make an hour, but, you know, $15 an hour, 40 hours is $550 a week. 550 times 52 weeks is slightly over $26,000. What says about $30,000 a year? You mean to tell me that somebody working for the federal government, $30,000 is a crazy amount of money to pay them? In New York, that's chump change. That is chump change. Trust me when I tell you, in my neighborhood, you couldn't live on $30,000 a year. So, Stony Loney, puff, puff, pass it. I see a few people saying that repeatedly, even in comments. Is there like a subliminal joke that I'm not aware of? James Edward, I almost said James Ellsworth. James Edward, I'm like the Italian big boss man. Wish I did more in wrestling, would have been successful. But if I did, you may not be seeing me now. Well, like I said, I don't lie to you. I'm not a good liar. I don't see. This is the thing. Like I always tell everybody out there, and it's sincere advice. A little white lie here and there, a little exaggeration. Do I look good in this skirt? Or honey, you look great. I don't have any problem with that. But deep lies, lying, I'm not good at it. Plus, I don't want to have record keeping when it comes to lies. If I lie about something and I file it away, then I always have to remember for the rest of my life that the bullshit story that I told. I told this crazy ass story. Now I got to always stick to that story. And if somebody asks me a hybrid question from it and I'm caught off guard, then I'm not going to get that story right. All these stories that some of you who have been kind enough to be with me, not physically, but be with me and supporting the shows for this many years, a lot of you have found that I have repeated stories many times. There's always new listeners, and story that you may have heard 5 times, someone else has never heard at all. But now people are starting to realize everything that I've told you with the wrestling stuff is not only is correct, but now I'm showing you proof. When I told the story about the dog getting dropped on his head at an indie show, and I brought the dog out with the entrance music, and then he did the Bronco Buster and sabotage his face. You see these big bulldog nuts in his face. I found the video. I'm going to show that next week for all of you. So I love to be able to back up my stuff. But so my point is, three indie feds have contacted me over the last 6 months and said, would you still want to do a little managing? And I said, as long as it doesn't interfere with my personal life and I don't have to do it, every single week, I said, yeah, count me in. And I know one contacted me about a month ago and said, look, I didn't forget. Once we're out of COVID, I want you to do stuff. So we might be able to see yours truly do it again. And I tell you, it's a little depressing. I'm not going to lie to you. I went and searched over the last week some of the people that I used to manage, some of the people that I used to do stuff against. And a boatload of them are retired. And it just hit me like this. This is something that I think some of you may not realize with yours truly. When I'm having the privilege of showing you mostly VPW stuff here because VPW allowed me to be as creative as I wanted to. They allowed me to work. They allowed me to practice. And they really didn't put any restrictions, and no one was there to sabotage what I was doing. No one was there to screw it up. And I found a box before with more videos. And there's stuff in there. There's one where I did play-by-play I went to the commentators booth. I do not remember it. I do not remember it at all. But there's other vignettes. There was one that I actually laughed at myself today. I'm on the telephone, and that guy with the goofy hair is trying to interview me, and he's like, who are you on the phone with? I said, I'm on the phone with Reefer. He's like, oh, tell him I love his hat. And I said, what, the pink hat? But the way it came out, I laughed today. I'm like, I don't remember saying that. But the thing is, when I'm looking at the videos today, I was like, holy shit, I was there for 3 years. It wasn't 3 months and done. I was there 3 years doing that stuff. So looking back on it, there was more years that I was doing it than I realized. But if I have the opportunity to do it again, I am going to do it again. And I'm going to do it as best as I could. I'm not going to be one of those that I look like this old, over the hill. No. If I can't, then I won't. Bourbon Bruce, unpopular opinion, Braun Strowman isn't over. Right now, I really can't argue with you all that much. But that's more in WWE than anything else. Braun Strowman was injured. Braun Strowman is in the best shape of his life. Problem is, he came back after the ball started rolling for WrestleMania. Too late to get him in this crazy high-profile match. Drew is on a roll. Lashley's on a roll. Look, did you notice Brock Lesnar's now on the Raw roster page? And I say for 3 months, Brock Lesnar's got to return for WrestleMania. Now, it's not official yet, but he is shown on the Raw roster page. I don't know if anybody's realized that. But there's so many people right now that are leapfrogged over Braun Strowman. You can't just throw him right back in there. So for now, he gets a little storyline with Shane McMahon. And look, the match at Fastlane, people were talking yesterday, it disappeared from the match listing. I'm not paying attention to anybody online. These are the same people that said Monday that Asuka's out with a concussion, maybe through WrestleMania. These are the same people that Vince McMahon, all the matches other than the two main events are all thrown up in the air. These are the people that keep giving you fake, phony shit. Guardian Cash, what I bump? Absolutely. I've been put through tables. I've gotten my share of chair shots. You'll see tonight I got whipped with a belt, kicked in the stomach, in the head. I had a match where I got suplexed and body slammed and, somebody wrapped me in bubble wrap. That was my idea, but they wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do. I wanted them to put me in bubble wrap and do it so tight that it was going to look like I couldn't get air, and I was going to desperately try to go around ringside and fall on the floor and act like I passed out. But the management said, no, that's too extreme. So they turned it into a goofy thing. They wrapped me in bubble wrap and then just dropped me outside the ring. There was so much air that I swear to God, I could have farted and it would have came out of the bubble wrap. So I love taking bumps, man. I loved it. It got me so upset that my neck was in such bad shape. That's one thing that really upset me because, look, my neck, I think, is a little smaller what it used to be, but I always had an 18 to 19-inch neck, always. And I always thought that because I had a big neck and thick neck, that it was strong. I never realized how bad I hurt my neck from my car accident. And when I was taking bumps, every time I tried to take a back bump, and I've told this before, my head would go backwards and hit the mat. No matter what, you got to tuck your neck in. All right, pretend like you're doing this. All right, go back and keep your neck like this. And every time I would fall back, my head would still hit the net. I had no neck strength. They tied a weight. The guy took a rope and tied a weight and put it on my neck. He's like, okay, now go like this, go like this. And I'm doing it, and the rope is digging into my neck and trying to build strength. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't do nothing. It really, really upset me. Because obviously I knew I was never going to amount to, oh, my God. I'll tell you in a minute. Roger Rubio, loved the animation video. Yeah, that was a tribute to my dog. Somebody offered to get that for me. And I said, if you do it, because it was, let me explain what that was. When you saw her before, as far as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. That was supposed to be Marlon Brando in Goodfellas. Remember when he's sitting in the Godfather chair and he's playing with the cat? He's rubbing the cat. Somebody was going to do that satire with me, with a little Goodfellas theme to it. And I said to him, I don't want no cat. I'm nothing against cat lovers, but, for me, it's my dog or nothing. I said, you got to put my dog in there. And he came back to me, and he's like, brace yourself. And I looked at it, and at first it was very dark. And I came back, I said, I really can't see it. So they made the video lighter, and I looked at it closely, and it was my dog, and I lost it. Thank God I wasn't on a telephone. I was on the opposite side of the computer crying like a baby. So I wanted to pay a little tribute to my dog. That's why even on the merchandise, when you see me like with the dog in my, that's a tribute to my dog. So my dog is iconic, because a lot of people don't know. My dog got sick from Neutro dog food. And if you obviously you can't check it out now, but I think it was 2006. He got very sick from Neutro dog food. It was tainted. Neutro dog food used to outsource their wheat from Japan. And when you outsource some products, it doesn't have to go through inspections. I had no idea. My dog became a diabetic because of it. And I had to give him insulin 2 times a day for 6.5 years. I would wake up 4 o'clock in the morning every day to give him insulin, feed him, give him his shot, and then give it to him again at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I tried to do it 7 and 7, but my dog, 4 o'clock in the morning, he was hungry. So it was always 4 and 4. So just think about doing shows at that time and realizing that at 4 a.m. I had to get up. And you can't always fall back asleep. But I started going on a crusade online to warn people about Neutro dog food. They tried to take me to court. Mish made a controversial banner at that time. Want to kill your dog? Give him Neutro. Whatever their catchphrase was, and they tried to sue me. And I said, go ahead and sue me, assholes. I said, my dog is fucking sick. And luckily they never sued me. But that's the truth. That's the truth. That's why I pay tribute. So, but yeah, he was awesome. He was awesome. Krauser! Krauser, I don't know if you saw my message on Patreon earlier, my friend. Take your time. There's an old club song. Take your time, do it right. You can do it, baby. You probably have all heard that in like dentist offices and grocery stores. The SOS band. Crazy Cruiserweight. Just remember it's pronounced Mimi. Is it Mimi? Yesterday I said Memi. I thought I finally got it right. Now, you know me. I could have just went on YouTube. How do you pronounce M-E-M-E? But I never did that. I think it was my my fiance that said to me, oh, no, it's pronounced Memi. Now I realize that she did that on purpose to embarrass the shit out of me. So yesterday on my show, I'm like, you ever see that Memi with the guy like looking at the other girl? And I expected it. People like, no, it's not pronounced Memi. It's Mimi. 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 Like the idiot in the Muppets. Mimi. Jerk. Papo Jr., any short Bronx stories that I have of Spanish Harlem? Oh, yes, I do. By the way, I have it here, Papo Jr. I didn't forget, my friend. Oh, you got to DM me your shirt size. Papo Jr. wanted me to share something with all of you out there. If anyone out there, you get COVID, or even if you feel under the weather, there's a little concoction that his family makes. And I'm sorry, yesterday I kept saying turmeric. It's ginger. Not like, Gilligan's Island, but ginger, like the spice or whatever it is. His family makes a drink. And I knew it sounded familiar because I used to date Dominican chick. You all know that story of Dominican chick with the 3 triplets that I used to date that my father was totally against. They used to make something called Dominican tea. And it had almost the same exact ingredients in it. And when I researched it today, Dominican tea is used for inflammation. If you have a cold, you're a little under the weather. And a lot of people, if you do a Google search, you'll find that they believe that this also helps dealing with COVID. Now, AS7607 and others right now are like, God damn it, you couldn't tell me this a week ago. But you take a couple of pieces of celery. I know this is going to sound disgusting, everyone, but it's not. It's not. I'm telling you, I've had similar concoctions like this. Take a couple of pieces of celery, a little bit of garlic, ginger, red onions, red apples, chamomile. And you could add a little turmeric if you want as well. You boil it in a pot for about 10 minutes. And after it, you can, if you want it sweet, you could add a little bit of honey to it. If you are, on a diet or you're carb conscious, you could add a little stevia. You could add a little allulose, which is a sugar substitute. You could add a little lime to it, and you drink it like a tea. And it helps with inflammation. It's not just the inflammation in your chest. You just feel beat down under the weather. If you have those vegetables at home, even if you have the spices, just put it together. Add a little bit of honey to it or something and drink it. I'm telling you, it's nowhere near. I have turmeric every single day, but I have it in capsule form. Anybody ever get turmeric on their hands? I've ruined shirts because of turmeric. But as far as South Bronx, Spanish Harlem, well, the only story I could give you, and there is proof of it, if Mr. Big comes through. If any of you out there still talk to Mr. Big, tell Mr. Big, because I haven't gotten in touch with him yet. DT wants to pay him for the footage from Spanish Harlem, the wrestling event. I know some of you know the story already, but this is probably my favorite wrestling memory, Spanish Harlem. Mr. Big had his Big Pro Wrestling, I think it was. And he let me manage on the show. And he let me manage the main event. I managed Homicide and Grim Reaper. They took on Raven and Sandman. It was in Spanish Harlem. And thank you, Austin, for the kind words. That's why I love doing the video. Because now you could see these crazy stories I tell, you'll actually see them. And Mr. Big has the footage. We were going to Spanish Harlem. Now, I'm doing a Don Tony character from Howard Beach. So I'm thinking stereotypes right away. I'm not trying to be racist, not trying to be controversial, but I'm saying to myself, okay, Italian greaseball from Howard Beach, going to Spanish Harlem. How do you piss people off even more? So we went to a bodega 2 blocks away from the arena. I think, believe it or not, I think Reefer and someone wanted to get papers to smoke. I'm not joking. He didn't hide it at the time, so that's why he called himself Grim Reefer in a lot of people's eyes. So I'm in the bodega, and I'm trying to think of things, and I look over and I see a big can of air freshener. So I bought it. And when I came out around ringside, I took the air freshener and I went around ringside. And I saw these people, because Spanish Harlem, the ethnicity in Spanish Harlem is a little bit different than where I live. A lot of Spanish, a lot of black, a lot of Latino. So I walked around ringside and I go, and people, you motherfucker, you cocksucker, you son of a bitch, you this, trust me, people have asked me over the years, like, looking back, do you like being a heel or a good guy? And honestly, I don't know the answer. I'm not sure the answer. I loved being an asshole because I think I could get under someone's skin pretty easily. But I also loved being a good person because I loved giving back and mingling with kids and giving, bringing cannolis for people for real and, passing out little toys and stuff. It always felt good. And the VPW stuff was family shows. I got all the zombie stuff that I told you about over the years. I found it. And what I was going to tell you before. Remember, I know I said this once or twice over the years, but I brought up last week. Remember I said Johnny Rods used to go to the shows? And one of the things I always loved at that time was that Johnny Rods, when he saw my Lincoln, he fucking made such a big deal over it. And Johnny Rods, him and I, for about a half an hour, just talked about Cadillacs and Lincolns. Johnny Rods loved to pimp in a Caddy or a Lincoln. I'm not talking prostitutes, but he loved just cruising around, pimping in a Lincoln or a Cadillac. So one time, Johnny Rods came to the show. Johnny Rods was this close of managing me and I think Jay Lover in a match. And I don't know why it didn't work out, but I found footage of that event where Johnny Rods literally breaks a bottle over one of the guys that we were feuding against at that time. I found it. I'll show it to you probably next week. So when I said, and when you see how he's dressed, it's exactly how I described it over the years. So, Lee, what's going on? RCWR, what's up, my brother? So, just to wrap up the Spanish Harlem, I'm spraying air freshener around ringside to make them think like they smell. And towards the end, what happened was Sandman was incapacitated in the ring. I walked into the ring with the bottle of air freshener, and I was going to spray it in his eyes. And I purposely, obviously, I wish I had an aerosol can here. I could show you what I did. Do I have any aerosol? Just when I need it. I don't have any. I'm going to have to show you another time. Yeah, I'm going to have to show you another time. Anyway, what happened was he's in the ring, and I go to spray him. And I push down, and you do it dramatically so everybody could see it. I push down, and I go like this, and nothing comes out. And he opens up his eyes, and I do it again, and nothing comes out. And now he's getting ready to smash me with the Singapore cane. And I'm spraying, and I turn around, and I put it towards me, and it sprays me all in my eyes. Everybody starts laughing their ass off. It came across perfectly. Now I'm blinded because I legitimately sprayed air freshener in my face to make it as realistic as possible. I did close my eyes, but I did get a little in it. And he starts wailing me in the head with a Singapore cane. I ran under the ring like a baby, and I was under the ring for 20 minutes, and I had to take a shit. So there was a shopping bag under the ring, and I couldn't do anything, and I really had to go. So while they're in the match, on top of me, Homicide and Reefer versus Raven and Sandman. Oh, no, wait. It was, excuse me. It was Raven and, no, that's right. For a minute, I thought it was Homicide and Raven. No, that's the man. While they're on the top and you bang, 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 and the thing's going down, I'm under the ring. I was like, fuck it. I pulled my pants down and I just put the shopping bag over my ass. I took a nice dump, and I don't remember. I might have had a tissue in my pocket or something, but I wiped my ass as best as I could. I tied the shopping bag, and I threw it to the other side underneath the ring, and that was it. And I had air freshener, so that is the true story. So I never told them about the bag of shit. So if Mr. Big says, there was a bag of shit left under the ring, that was true. But you want to know something? God honest truth. After the show was over, a lot of people stood. A lot of people sitting around ringside stood. And I crawled out from under the ring, and there's a whole bunch of people there. And I said to them, listen, I'm sorry, for spraying the air freshener. Every single person at ringside didn't take offense to it, didn't get mad at me, didn't call me a racist. They turned around and they said, it's part of the show. It's all good. Made me feel so good. Never got the opportunity to go back there again. I even think we did an interview segment in the back, and I think I had opened the door. I said, look, there's doing drug deals on this corner. I don't want to be here. This is not my neighborhood. I don't like these type of people. Telling you, Mr. Big has this footage. I will pay him good money if he just is willing to send that footage. You obviously wouldn't see the footage of me taking a dump, but you'll see everything else. So that is my Spanish Harlem story. Hopefully it was good for you. Devin M, once again, thoughts are with you, my friend. Thoughts are with you. Be there for your family. Be there for your family. Seriously. Definitely. A little lost for words. I see things like that. I think of my dad. I think of my mom. And thank God they're still here, but you know what they've been going through. I fear one day, like I said, sometimes once in a blue moon, when my telephone rings late at night and I see their house number, I get this really horrible chill that goes down my spine, expecting to pick up the phone and hearing the worst of the worst news. But sometimes they'll call and say, oh, put on the TV. Oh, look, this is done. Or did you see this? And I'm like, Ma, don't call me at like 9 o'clock at night like that. You know, they usually after 6, 7 o'clock, we say goodnight, I love you, and that's it. And they call 9, 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night. You're like, it rattles you, man. No, Steve, I haven't gotten that call. So Tyree Jones of Parker Bordeaux fails horribly as the Brock twin. Would you compare it to the Batista? Oh, Mason Ryan? No. Parker Bordeaux, he knows everybody calls him Brock Lesnar light. And he embraces it, he laughs at it, but he's not trying to be a Brock Lesnar clone. Mason Ryan looked like he was trying to be a Batista clone. Not necessarily in his repertoire, but the way he dressed and the way he had his hair and the way he had his look, you know, hey, can you blame him? Batista is awfully successful, even at that time. So why would you not kind of mimic that a little bit? Parker Bordeaux, though, he's a muscular guy, short blonde hair, you know, similar physique. Trust me, Parker Bordeaux, for the last 5-10 years, building that physique and his look, did not have a giant poster of Brock Lesnar next to his mirror, and he's like, you know, yeah, they called him Batista Light. In fact, I even think Mason Ryan cut a promo once doing that. You remember when they used to call Darren Young Black Cena? It was creepy how much Darren Young and John Cena looked alike in the face. Not has nothing to do with skin color, but they really, I'll tell you another one. If you ever go back and look at Dan Spivey, if you look at Dan Spivey in the 90s and just Photoshop out his hair or put a cap on his head, you'll swear it's Steve Austin. It was scary how much they looked alike. But no, Parker Bordeaux, you know, he happens to look a lot like Brock Lesnar, but don't be surprised if they change his look so people don't think of Brock Lesnar all that much. He looks like him right now. That doesn't mean that he'll always look like him. Lee is telling everyone that he interviewed Mason Ryan after he left WWE, and of all the things he could ask him, he told Lee, don't ask him about the Batista stuff. He was very sensitive to that topic. Look, there's, in my mind, getting into the business and trying to build a career, I think he emulated Batista in a lot of ways. And like I said, I don't blame him because but when he got that label and couldn't deliver, and then everybody called him Batista light. Now, you know, you're like, I don't want to be Batista. Leave me alone with the Batista stuff. Stop bringing up Batista, God damn it. You know, so I kind of feel bad for him because he's kind of like vanished. I thought he probably would have had a better career in wrestling, but he didn't. Franklin Tangelo, Any interesting, funny crime mob stories that we could tell? Well, I'm not going to tell the coffee shop one. People are sick of that one. You already know me delivering heroes for John Gotti when he was alive. Any really crazy stories? I mean, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. One that I've told before, since I'm trying to keep wrestling attached to it in some way. Back around 2008, myself, Grim Reaper, and Jay Lover went to a tanning salon in Howard Beach, Queens. And it was in the afternoon, and we tanned, and then we came out, and we were standing on the corner of Cross Bay Boulevard, and I don't remember the name of the street. And I guess we were figuring out like what we were going to do next. Because a lot of people don't realize that Reefer only lives 5 minutes from me. He lives about 5-6 blocks, the most. So I don't remember what we were going to do at the time. I think we went over his house and he had this giant TV at the time playing the fighter games and stuff. But we were standing on a corner. It was the summertime. And we see this gangster-looking guy running across the street from payphone to payphone. And the payphone's ringing, and he's running from one side of the street to the other. And it looked like the scene in Goodfellas, where the guy's, not Paulie, but the other one was running back and forth by the phone, and the young Ray Liotta has got the umbrella over his head. This guy's running back and forth. Then all of a sudden, I hear this guy go, "Oh, Anthony." I turn around, and it's one of my customers who's a gangster in the neighborhood. He's like, "Oh, come here." And he gives me a kiss on both sides of the cheek. "Hey, you're going to introduce me to your friends." And I introduced him. And then the phone rang on the other payphone. He's like, "Oh, I got to go." And he ran back across the street. So that was funny. That was funny. There's other ones as well. I mean, there's been probably the one that I hated the most, and I've told this before too. I went to a club back around 1990. It was a country music club. Don't ask me why, but it was in my neighborhood. If anybody's familiar with my neighborhood, on Woodhaven Boulevard near Myrtle Avenue, right near Forest Park, there used to be a country music club called Kickers. And he used to have this giant, and you probably Google it, I'm sure somebody's written about it over the years, but it was a club called Kickers. And once in a while, they would have special theme nights where they would play other music. I'll give you one that's a little more famous. I'll give you another one that's famous. Some of you may have heard of a club called Lemoore East. Lemoore East, however you pronounce it. That is a very famous club that used to be in my neck of the woods. Lemoore East used to be located about 2-3 blocks away from the Elks Lodge that ECW ran and USA Pro Wrestling ran. And Lemoore East was known for rock music, straight up rock music all the time. Lemoore East, rock. And they would once in a while have club music night. That's when we would go. We would go to Lemoore East and have a ball. So one time we went to this Kickers night. And me and my friends, we would always get the VIP area. We try to act like we're tough guys when we're not, trying to dress to impress, even though we're just regular people from the neighborhood. And one time we had the VIP area inside the place. And, we're having a couple of drinks. And there was a couple of girls that we were hanging out with as well. And then one of the owners goes up to one of my friends and he's like, and my friend Joey's like, we gotta move. I'm like, what you gotta move for? You pay extra to be in the VIP section. John Gotti Jr. was in the club. And John Gotti Jr. told the owners, these fucking guys out of here, I want the VIP area. So they forced us to go to the other side of the club. And when we walked to the other side of the club, he kind of like laughed at us. And I really couldn't do anything, because of who he was. And, my family was friends with his family, So we had to literally just take it. About an hour or two later, the owner's like, if you guys want to go back there, like, no, we're going to leave. They're like, fuck that, man. So that was kind of a dick move. So those are probably the lamest ones that I could tell for tonight. Philip Maffey, he's going to WrestleMania. Yes, the pre-show today. The pre-show. Good, man. Enjoy it. I want to go so bad. Nobody wants to go. And look, because of COVID, I have no issues with that whatsoever. Me, I can't suddenly be selfish simply because I'm vaccinated. I had asked Mish, plus he's got other things going on as well, but the COVID situation is concerning enough, especially when you're not completely vaccinated, that you want to wait a little bit more. A few other people I know personally, they're like, nah, not this year and this and that. So, it's not going to happen this year. Next year, though, it will be on my bucket list. There's nothing that's holding yours truly back anymore from anything. I'm a little pissed off that I couldn't go this year simply because of money. I could have flown to Florida for $100. I had my choice of hotels or Airbnbs if I would have reserved it 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago, I remember going on Patreon especially and saying, guys, if you want to, in advance, book Mania, you get plane tickets right now for $79. Some people didn't believe me until I posted the screenshots. Some people took advantage of that. I mean, you would have gone there virtually for nothing. I mean, obviously the Mania tickets cost money, but remember what I said yesterday? I said Monday too. They have 25,000 tickets set aside for Mania both nights. Once these tickets sell, they're going to further set up all the pods. If they are able to arrange them and keep the safe distance, there will be up to 5,000 more tickets added. You heard it here. You haven't heard that anywhere else. The only thing is, if they do it for one night, they're going to do it for both nights. If they add the extra pods, those tickets will be available for both nights. As of right now, it is 25,000. It is going to sell out. And their biggest concern are scalpers. I don't want to get into what I said Monday, but everything we said Monday is exactly what happened. There was nothing different than what we said. So, unfortunately, no Mania, but Philip, enjoy it, man. And you know what? I'm going to say something. Darren Gordon Hill, say this, and that, so he could drink his Steve vodka. Could please somebody enlighten me on that? Don't super chat it unless you want to, but what is this, and that? I saw him wrote it on the comments, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe DT is repeating something too often, and maybe there's a running joke, like every time DT says something, like goofs or something, you take a shot. Is that what it is? I don't know if that's what it is. If I'm still I'm trying not to say goofs, if you notice. I might start saying schnooks, like earlier. But, what was I just going to... Oh, I'm going to make a comparison right now. I hope nobody gets offended by it. But I think it's going to be an awesome comparison that you will see people pick up on. Then after this, we'll either do the trivia contest or we'll show the wrestling first, and then we'll do the trivia contest. I'll leave it up to all of you. A lot of people are curious how fans are going to react at WrestleMania because, there's going to be live fans there again. And people have asked me, like, how do you think people are going to react? You think they're going to cheer Drew? You think they're going to boo Drew, this and that? And I think I have the perfect answer. And I really thought about this, and I said, yeah, I really believe this. It's not. I hope it's not controversial in any way. I believe, how those fans are going to react? Nia Jax, Drew, no matter who it is that come out there. I'm going to compare it when WWE goes to Saudi Arabia, especially the first time, minus the difference in culture. Saudi Arabia always wanted WWE there, and they always watched it from afar. And when WWE finally started having tours there, they ate it up, loved every single person. I still remember to this day Brody Lee, who was a heel at the time, and they were chanting Luke Harper's name. Remember when they had that greatest battle royal or whatever it was? I'm telling you, it's going to remind people of when WWE goes to Saudi Arabia. The fans are going to be loud for every person who is there. They will definitely boo some people, but there's going to be so much energy. It's going to remind people of when WWE was first going to Saudi Arabia. So, I'm telling you, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. And I can't wait until COVID is further out of here. I heard a couple of days ago that last week, compared to this week and last week, that the death count, the death rate in the United States of America went down 22%. That's a lot. There's a lot. So, you know, we just got to keep the hope, man. You all battled this for over a year. It's not that long ago. I remember in March of last year, remember the idea that every fan gets a mask and gets sanitizer and they keep their difference. I was kind of like a year behind on that because that's what they're doing this year. But we thought, 2 months from now, it'll get back to normal. 6 months from now, it'll get back to normal. It will by the August of last year, maybe the winter. But then there was concerns about a second wave, and the second wave came. So you've battled this far. You don't have much to go. And that is just a fact. These vaccines, even though not everybody's going to get them, the vaccine is going to do enough that this shit's going to be out of there. And look, I'm not going to get into politics over here, but I'm sure you saw that back and forth today with this Rand Paul guy and Dr. Fauci. Believe me when I say this. I'm sorry if it gets anybody mad, but something tells me you're all going to agree. A lot of this idea of wearing 2 masks after you're vaccinated is all politics, because what this government does not want, especially when they incorporate race in this, they don't want a bunch of white guys and gals because they're fully vaccinated going to a restaurant, going to a party, going to a beach, taking their mask off, all hanging out and partying, and this other group of people who are not vaccinated have to stand there and watch other people having fun because they got vaccinated. You notice how, nobody ever says, look, get vaccinated. The quicker you do it, the quicker we can party and go out and have fun. And no, instead, we're not out of the woods yet. And you still got to do this. You still got to do that. They don't want a class of people, not just white, but they don't want a class of people who have been vaccinated to go out and celebrate and party. And then you have this other class of people that are watching these people enjoying themselves, and they can't do it. So nobody could do it. That's the mentality. That's why last week they suddenly said, grandma could hug the kids and you could hang out with others that have been vaccinated too. But they refuse to tell you that if you're fully vaccinated, are you still... They don't want to tell you because and this is fact, and I think everybody will agree too. If you start putting in people's heads in the world that if you're fully vaccinated, you're pretty much good to go. People are going to say, fuck this mask, I'm good to go. There's no reason for me to wear it, and you'll see this big uproar, and then you won't be able to stop it. That's why they're doing it. So, unfortunately, because of politics and social issues, whether you're vaccinated or not, they're not going to allow, they'll let you party at home, but they won't let you do it in public just as a group because they don't want the other group on the side. Mommy, why can't we take off our mask? Mom, what? Honey, why can't I take off? They'll fuck this. That's the deal. That's the deal. And I know a lot of you know that already. So, anyway, what should we do, everyone? Oh, sorry. What should we do? Should we do the contest now? Or should we do the rest, show the old school Don Tony indie wrestling stuff? I'm fine either way. I have the notes here. The contest, I think, is going to be awfully easy this time around. I'll let you all vote. Yeah, I know. You want the contest so you could disconnect early. You can watch the Don Tony stuff on a replay at another time. All right, let's do it. Let me very quickly, once again. You saw over here. I put the screenshot so you could see it better. The prize offered today is the January 2000 WWF Raw magazine. It is autographed by Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Edge, and Christian. This is when they were rising stars. Amazing that all four are still in it. JSA authenticated, so you know it's 100% real. If you do not want the magazine as your prize, then you could get the wheel. Maybe we'll spin it twice. You get 2 shots at the wheel. Whatever adds up, you have that prize. Or we have the balls. They're labeled 1 to 100. They're labeled 1 to 100. I could pull 2 balls out. Whatever those balls add up to, that's your prize also. So whoever wins, their choice is either the magazine, 2 spins of the wheel, or you know what? Maybe a spin of the wheel and a ball. One of each. You could choose that too. So that's a lot of balls. I know it is a lot of balls. So I already gave you the hint earlier. I'm going to give you the hint again. It is wrestler initials. Triple H would be a good one. You know, HHH. Okay. This is kind of a tough one. I know people will get 3 out of 4 like that. Unless there's another name out there that's totally escaping me, and if it fits, then I accept that as well. Oh, let me put the chat room back. There you go. The chat room is on the screen also for transparency, so everybody could see in real time who won the contest. So I'm going to give you a trivia question now. There are 4 answers. As far as I'm aware, there are 4 answers. And the first person who could name all 4 correctly wins the prize. Now, you really should write both names because of the initials. But, take your time. Take your time. It's not that hard, but if you really get stumped by it, then there's a way I could expand the question further so we could definitely get a winner. So here's the question. Get ready to type. Remember, you got to type all 4 names. And you really should type the first and last name for each one. If you misspell it, it's okay. It's not Rampage Jackson this time around. I try to think of some outside the box questions. Right now, some people just ask the goddamn question already. But I try to think outside the box, get a little creative. Not something that you could normally just Google the answer for, because I know some people try to do that. But in the last 15 years, and you know what? I want to check one quick thing. Hold on a second. Want to make sure that one of the answers is definitely not on this list. Okay. Yeah, all right. All right. That's fine. In the last 15 years. In the last 15 years. You have the wrestler Carlito, Caribbean Cool, Carlito Colon, CC. You can't choose Carlito, and you can't choose Charlie Caruso, because Charlie Caruso doesn't wrestle. Over the last 15 years, name me 4 other people who have wrestled on WWE or Impact or AEW that had the initials CC in their name. 4 wrestlers that had CC in their name, not CCC, not 1C, but CC as their initials. Carlito Colon would be one, but you can't use that one. All right. All right. So I see somebody got one right already. Okay. So I think everybody could see, that is a good one. That is definitely one. Jericho's last name doesn't begin with the letter C. It has to begin with the first letter, second. Larry Rovers, I will tell you right now, for some of you out there, I will tell you that Chris Candido passed in 2005, which would be 16 years ago. Chris Candido is not one of the answers. I purposely did 15 years so you couldn't choose Chris Candido. I would love for you to choose Chris Candido, but you can't. And you got to type all 4 names in the same line. You can't type one and then another one later on, because I have to be able to monitor this. Big T, Chavo's last name begins with the letter G. Tuxedo Earth, technically, none of these answers really have to apply to Impact. I'll give you another hint. Caprice Coleman, Chris Cash, no. We're talking WWE, AEW, TNA. No, not bad choices, but no Chris Cash. Christian Cage. No, Chris Canyon is the letter K. Not bad, Papo. You were close, though. You're pretty close. Pretty close. Soulfly has it? Wait. All right, let's go. Caprice Coleman, Christian Cage, Colt Cabana. No, where did Chris Cash wrestle? No. Kid Cash was the letter K. Caprice, all right, maybe Caprice. Where did Caprice Coleman wrestle? Caprice Coleman. Where did Caprice Coleman wrestle? Claudio Castagnoli never used that name on WWE, AEW, or TNA. That would be Ring of Honor. Colby Carino never wrestled for WWE, AEW, or TNA. Remember, it's those 3 feds. You're very close, man. Very close. If put it this way, if we don't get an answer in the next 30 seconds, then I will extend the years back a little bit. Cien Caras never wrestled as Cien Caras in WWE, AEW, or TNA, or Impact Wrestling. Carlos Colon? No. All right. Let's expand this a little bit. When I expand it, we'll have a winner in 2 seconds. Instead of going back 15 years, and obviously, well, Chavo Classic was much further than that, but let's go back 25 years, but you can't use Candido because we already talked about Candido. Corey Craves the Munchies. Come on, there's one staring at me. My God, oh man, come on. I'll give you a hint. Every wrestler that you choose can technically have been in WWF, even though a lot of people chose Colt Cabana, which is a good answer. Colt Cabana is a good answer. Christian Cage is a good answer. Oh my God. Nobody? I'll give you another hint. Both of the other names were in tag teams. Oh, wait. I think we got... Yeah, there you go. He got it. Extreme got it. Extreme. You are the man, Extreme. Extreme got it. I'm going to show you the paper. Kalen Croft wrestled in 2008 or 9 or 10 for ECW. But Colin Cassidy. Come on. Big Cass. Colin Cassidy. But it was a little more difficult than I thought it would be. See, that's why I didn't say Ring of Honor. I wanted to keep it just main TV. See, look, Kalen Croft, I'll be straight up with you. When I saw Kalen Croft, I'm like, nobody's going to know that. I thought Colin Cassidy, Big Cass. See, the four answers that I thought you were going to choose was going to be Colin Cassidy, Christian Cage, Colt Cabana, and if we wanted to go a little further, Chainsaw Charlie. So, Extreme, it's your choice, my friend. The magazine, or 2 shots at the wheel, 2 shots at the balls, or one of each? We'll wait for Extreme to make his choice. Whatever you want to choose is fine with me, man. You know, take an hour. It's all right. People in audio only like, motherfucker, pick your price. Extreme says, if he doesn't get the magazine, what are the options? Option number 1, I could spin this son of a bitch twice. I could spin that wheel twice. Let's make it a little clearer. Yeah, that's all right. If you look, that is $10 in a spin, even though the lights are a little, maybe I can kind of brighten it a little bit. No, not really. I can spin the wheel twice, and whatever it lands on, you get the money. Or if you don't want the wheel, this is balls numbered from 1 to 100. I'll pick 2 balls out of here, and whatever they add up to, you get that. Or I could spin that once and pull 1 ball out, and whatever they add up to, you get that. So the point is, you could win more than 200 because you got $10 in a spin, $5 in a spin, so you could just keep getting extra spins and then nail 100. Extreme says he'll take the magazine. Should we check to see what he would have won cash prize? Let's see what he would have won. So, Extreme, you email me, dontony@dontony.com, and send me your shipping address. I'll get it out tomorrow. I'm going to pick a ball at random. So, we'll pick 1 ball at 1 spin. So, I pick a ball at random. You would have got $20. Oh, you can see it. 20. Yeah, there you go. 20. Yeah, $20. Hold on. And then we'll show the wrestling stuff. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Good. So you would have got $20 plus this. I think he made a pretty good deal. He would have gotten $25. That's $5, see? Not bad. Got the magazine instead of $25. Yeah, I said only WWE, TNA Impact, and AEW. I specifically chose those to try to keep it, for promotions that everybody was familiar with. So, Anthony JCP, what do I think Brody would have been doing for AEW currently? I think he still would have been the leader of the Dark Order. I don't know if they would have been gone this route. I mean, the backstage stuff was hilarious. I mean, I watched that Being the Elite episode after he passed and all those outtakes. I mean, they were having, that's why I said, to me, that's not a cult. It's like a fraternity. That's what the Dark Order has turned into. It turned into from a cult, to a fraternity. And man, the vibes are great. The vibes are great. I think he would be doing similar what he was doing before. So, Yeah, good. I'm glad you enjoy it. So like I said, I'll get it out tomorrow. Cody Collins, can I see MJF jump into WWE in the next few years? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I mean, obviously WWE would tone it down quite a bit. Some of the stuff that he says on social media would not be happening. If you notice, he's kind of toned it back a little bit on social media as well. He's actually praised a few things. He's complimented a few people. Like, he still throws a little sarcasm in there as well, but you could see that MJF's social media account has actually kind of changed a little bit. Would they ruin him? Possibly. Who knows? But look, I tell you the truth. Out of everybody in AEW right now, know who I would like to see jump to WWE, even if he ended up just on NXT? Hangman Page. They have done next to nothing with this guy. This guy fought to be the first ever AEW heavyweight champion, and everything since, I mean, COVID kind of fucked his career up. Because you remember when he had that crazy look on his face that he was going to turn heel, and then COVID hit, and then the storyline went out the window, and it's never come back. Hangman Page should be a lot further than where he is right now. I don't understand why they can't give this guy something significant. Brian Cage, I think, would be great as well. I don't know about Lance Archer in WWE. I don't know if the WWE would utilize him the right way. You know? Hangman Page, I would love to see him get a better opportunity somewhere else. Even if it's not WWE, Hangman Page should be so much further in his career. Look, he's still very young, so he could still, have a kick-ass career. But it's almost criminal of how AEW's used him over the last 6 months. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, for precautionary reasons that he is very, cautious about COVID and doesn't want to have, or maybe they're just saving it for once COVID is out of here, then it's full-blown Hangman Page, push him to the moon. I don't know, but I'm very disappointed in how they have used Hangman Page in the last year for me. Out of everybody, I'm disappointed the most in Hangman Page. Big T, is the Keith Lee stuff COVID? All right. I had a feeling somebody was going to ask this sooner or later. You know me, I don't like bringing COVID stuff publicly unless the person who has been hit with it says it, or if the company or a combination thereof. So I am not going to come up here and say anything about COVID. But I will say this. If people out there think that Keith Lee is off TV because WWE has nothing for him, they truly have no sources whatsoever. Keith Lee, sooner or later, you will know exactly what has transpired. I will say this, especially that they're now doing the PSAs to tell people get vaccinated, that if anybody was having an issue with COVID, you would think that maybe talking about it would help someone else. And I'm not just saying for him, I'm saying for anybody. I'm not saying that Keith Lee is battling complications from COVID. All I'm saying is that it's not, we have nothing for him. That's all I'm going to say. WWE, when you hear that, oh, Vince has fallen out of love with Keith Lee, stupid. They know what they got in this guy. They knew for years what they got in this guy. You saw the documentary that they did. You saw what he did in NXT. You saw what he did there. The guy has done zero personally, professionally. He has given 110% in the ring. He has done nothing to make WWE frown on him. He just, unfortunately, things didn't click early on. And then, they had the issues. Mia Yim had revealed the COVID and stuff. So it will come out sooner or later. But, I will tell you that it's not, WWE has nothing for him. Okay, that's what I'll say. No, even wait. It's just, even though this is kind of meaning differently, wait it out. Keith Lee will be back on TV sooner than later. So, let's see. Am I surprised Adam Cole is still in NXT and wasting his time? I don't think he's wasting his time there. But I said something yesterday that ended up being true. I should have stood with my original ratings predictions yesterday. That would have been within 20,000 of each one. AEW yesterday did 768. NXT did 597. That is horrible for NXT. But again, I know not all of you are interested in ratings, but I think the ratings are critical, especially the quarter hours that I do every Friday. And the reason why they're critical is because you're getting not only a week, breakdown. When you follow them on a weekly basis, you're now getting a pretty good snapshot as to what fans are drifting to and what they are drifting away from. I brought up Everrise several months ago, and we noticed that quarter hours were horrendous. We brought up Jake Atlas. His numbers were awful. We brought up August Gray, did virtually nothing. We brought up Kurt Stallion, did virtually nothing. We brought up the Grizzly Veterans. Every time their quarter hours were garbage. Only Larkin and Danny Burch. They fought Breezango in main events. They fought others in main events. And every time their ratings sucked. So when you see this week after week after week, even if you think ratings don't matter, you're seeing the trend that fans are falling out of favor with certain people. And as ridiculous as this may sound to a lot of you out there, it is a fact. And I said it yesterday before the ratings came out. And when you see the quarter hour ratings tomorrow that I bring up, what I've been saying is an exclamation point. The bloom is off the rose for Finn Balor as NXT Heavyweight Champion. He has fought Roderick Strong. He's fought Adam Cole. He's been in tag team title matches. He's been main eventing. And his matches, the ratings have been very disappointing. They're not popping numbers. Almost every time his main event quarter hour, the ratings go down. Just because the overrun has a spike, all that means is that fans tuned off of AEW and they want a little more. And they decide they're going to watch the last couple of minutes of NXT. If that 5-minute viewership doesn't carry over for the following week, it means nothing. And I hate to say it, man. Devin M., I'm not saying this because he's a friend of the family and we support him. I'm not saying it because of that. Karrion Kross, it is too soon. It is too soon. He hasn't been back all that long. He had a little thing with Santos Escobar. And even that technically wasn't the main event, if you remember. Because they did the segment afterwards. But you have to start taking notice soon about Karrion Kross. Because so far, his numbers have not been terrible, but there's no spikes. There's no spikes. And look, I'm being honest here. One of the things that we've noticed that WWE keeps doing, and they did it again this week, is the seventh quarter, the 15 minutes before the main event, they put nonsense in that quarter. They put Everrise in there a couple of times. They put the Grizzly Young Veterans. They did the Breezango stuff last week. Yesterday, they did the stuff with, trying to remember who it was. I think Breezango fought yesterday, too. You know, it's just that quarter hour before the main event is the dip, and they don't get the fans back. We've seen 3 of the last 4 weeks where that 7th quarter, the ratings go down 50,000, 60,000, 80,000, 35,000, and they never get those fans back. So, Eli Drake I will talk about tomorrow, LA Knight. But look at Bronson Reed. Not Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes, all of those rich segments, every single one of them, that quarter-hour rating went down. They take notice of that. Like I said, if he didn't get COVID, which I hope he didn't, but if Cameron Grimes didn't get COVID, why would you kill his momentum and keep him off TV for 2 weeks? His quarter-hour ratings have been disappointing as well. Because remember what I said. Remember what I said when these skits were going on. When he gets back in the ring, if it's the same Cameron Grimes as before, with the exception of some money sitting in the ring, we're going to get the same quarter-hour ratings that we got before. So that's why the quarter-hour ratings are important. Because, look, there could be a dip any week. There could be a nice boost any particular week. But when you see a trend week, I feel bad saying it, but Finn Balor's ratings, main eventing NXT, has been terrible. Terrible. There's no other way to put it. It's been terrible. Shout out to Guardian. Guardian, how's my dad? And he would consider it an honor to do the guest spot on the show. Yeah, absolutely, Chaos. Without a doubt, man. I'd love to chat about, like, the New York wrestling scene and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll make it happen. Absolutely. I'm going to start, oh, by the way, for our friends of the family, we were going to do calls this weekend. I still looking to do it for Saturday. I will definitely get in touch with everybody tomorrow online to see what you want to do. If anything, worst case scenario, then we'll put it off for next week, and then we could talk next week about the fallout from Fastlane, because Bray Wyatt is probably going to show. There's a lot of rumors of Brock Lesnar and others, so maybe we'll hold it to next week. But we're going to start pulling calls, and if that works out well, we'll start doing it on the shows over here. But yeah, Guardian, absolutely, man, I would do it. Definitely would do it. Not even a question, man. I definitely want to have some convos. I don't want it to be one-sided all the time. And, I see some of the work you do on YouTube. The energy, that's the thing, man. The energy, your character, the charisma. I like energy. I like, debates. I like discussions. And, we'll definitely do something. Absolutely. So, with that said, we are running about 2 hours. Kevin Owens, heel or face, near? Definitely Kevin Owens as... Whoa. If you would have said to me a year ago, asked me a question a year ago, I would have said heel. Kevin Owens is a heel, period. But you know what? He has actually done a pretty damn good job as a babyface. Never thought he would fit that well. His feud with Roman Reigns, even though we knew Roman was not losing that title, his feud with Roman was great. The Kevin Owens show segments are a little goofy, although I did like when Kevin Owens showed up in NXT. That was fun. They should do it more often. But, Devin M says it perfectly. Tweener. Kevin Owens is a tweener. He's a babyface, but a babyface with an attitude. So I like that. I go with that. Peacock already has WWE Network stuff. I think today was the official day that things started kicking in. Like I said, tomorrow I'll give everybody the info as far as current subscriptions, what's going to happen, refunds, credits, things like that. But a lot of you have been asking me, when am I going to switch over to Peacock? I'm going to probably do it around the 30th or 31st of March. I mean, look, $2.50, it's not going to make a difference whether I do it tomorrow or do it in 2 weeks. If Fastlane is not on the network, then I'm going to have to switch it over to Peacock tomorrow. But, Peacock is kind of a funny word, but I grew up, watching the regular TV channels, CBS, ABC, NBC, later Fox, or back in the day, NBC, they would always show the Peacock symbol. Always. So, my thoughts on the Atlanta shootings. I was hoping you weren't going to ask that. Look, I tell it like it is. Sometimes it pisses off a lot of people. I think some people out there are using this mass murder to pin it on Trump again because of pushing the China virus. That it's now, this reminds me of 9/11 all over again. When 9/11 hit, there were these accusations that mosques were being threatened in other areas. And trust me, I had friends that were Pakistani, and we've lost touch over the years. But I have friends who were Pakistani that were legitimately scared. That they thought that somebody, because they looked like the terrorists, that somebody was going to walk into their store and fight, cause damage, or even worse. So that fear is legit. I feel bad for all Asians. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a neighbor who's Asian. I have customers who are Asian. Chinese food, sushi, Japanese. And I swear on God, I'm not trying to say this to make me look good. I have never once looked at any of them and said, China virus, China virus, China virus, China. Never looked at it like that. But there are whack jobs, that have crazy mentality. 9/11 hit, they want to take it out on everybody who's Muslim. You're a Trump supporter, then you must be a racist. You must be this. It comes in all forms, shapes, and sizes. None of it is acceptable. And what happened with this guy, I don't know what's going on in this guy's head. He's claiming that he had a sex addiction and he wanted to eliminate the problem. Why didn't he shoot prostitutes in the street? Why didn't he go after others as well? He may have said that because if he would have said, because they caused the virus, he might get the electric chair. The sex addiction problem, he maybe in his crazy mind, he thinks like, look, I had a legitimate addiction and it took over my body and I didn't want to do this, but it felt it was the only way to eliminate the problems. So they might call him mentally crazy instead of prejudiced. So I don't know what's in his head. All I know is that it's terrible. Whether it was Asian, black, white, straight, gay, Spanish, doesn't matter. But there is a boatload of people in this world. There's two things going on. There's a boatload of people in this world that are now blaming the use of the term China virus for what happened. We had a Spanish flu in the early 1900s. I don't remember any mass murdering sprees at Spaniards because it was a Spanish flu. If someone is deranged, that they're going to kill people because of something like that, that person who committed the crimes is the one who's responsible. But there's also another group of people out there. Before even getting all the facts, writing these diatribes that it's disgusting about what's happening to Asians and all this violence, did they ever bother to look up statistics? Did they ever bother to actually look to see what is happening and what is not happening in this country? They just want a tweet fuck. They just want to put it out there. I'm a good person. And what's happening to Asians is disgusting. Motherfucker, if it happens to anybody, it's disgusting. If you cared about Asians being mistreated, you would have said it in February of last year, March of last year, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December of last year, January, February, and March of this year. This guy was a nut job. And I don't know what was in his crazy ass heart. To me, I think he was hunting Asians. And it's disgusting. But I'm not going to blame it on a class of people that used the term China virus, and it was a psychotic individual. When someone hunts cops, when someone hunts MAGA supporters, when someone hunts blacks, when someone hunts Asians, are you going to blame it on a class of people? I am against any violence against anybody. And what happened to those massage parlors is terrible. If anybody follows me for a long time, you remember the College Point story. Getting massages. You want happy ending? Suki Suki. Remember the story? I came out with 4 flats on my car. I know exactly what was going on in those places. They shouldn't have died for it. And I don't buy that I have a sex addiction, because if you had a sex addiction, something tells me that he was banging more than just Asian massage parlors. So that doesn't jive with me. I think the guy lied about that, try to save his ass from being fried. He was going to Florida. 150 miles away, he got caught. You know, why wouldn't you try to eliminate all those massage parlors within those 150 miles? What was going to happen in Florida? There's more shit than meets the eye. But I am not going to blame a whole class of people, and I'm not going to get on my high horse and suddenly, no. I am against it 24/7, 365, period. That's how I feel about it. Any form of hate crime is wrong, Lee. Absolutely. Plain and simple. I don't need to tweet about that to feel like that. It's disgusting. It's terrible. And you just know that there's a lot of people out there that are looking for any tragedy. Let's be straight up. Again, I didn't vote for Trump. There's a lot of things I don't like about Trump anymore. And I don't think I would vote for him again in 2024 or whatever it is. But let's just be honest for a minute. You know that there is a ton of people out there that want to pin any tragedy on Trump. So you take this, China virus, say that a million times, even if it's not true, and people believe it. You see, you kept calling it the China virus. Now you got people trying to kill people from China. That's what's going on. And it's sick. That's why, like I say, I try to keep the noise out of my surroundings. I try to worry about myself, my family, my fiance, my hobbies, my love for this, hanging out with all of you, whatever makes me happy. I don't want to see bad things happen to the world, but I can only control what happens to me and my surroundings and who I come across, and I want to treat people the way I want to be treated. That's it. It's not hard. If you treat people the way you want to be treated, then you really should have no problem going through life being around other people. So, yeah, well, it's the misery loves company. Come on. You see what goes on online. You see what goes on online. You know, I always bring up the Kardashians. I heard today on the news that this is going to be the last year they're on the air. They've been on the air for, 14 years? You ever see me tweet about it? If I don't like it, and I can't stand it, you know how stupid I would look if I wrote every day, oh, the Kardashians are on, I guess I'm going to go watch paint dry. Oh, the Kardashians are on, total, limp noodle coming. You could fuck up fan. You know how stupid I would look? So if you don't like AEW, why do you tweet about it 150 times? Anybody out there? Oh, because I'm a wrestling fan. Well, I don't like breakbeat, and I don't like this mechanical music that's out now. I forget what it's called. So if I don't like that genre, I just don't pay attention to it. I don't listen to it. What's that music called? You know, I'm drawing a blank right now. It's getting late over here. Dubstep, yes. I can't get into dubstep. Even though I had an intro that had a little dubstep music, I don't like it. So, like I said, you look at wrestling, replace the word wrestling with music. Then you realize how ridiculously stupid people feel. But you know why they talk about it? Because they are looking for that attention. They are looking for that notification, gratification, acknowledgement, likes, hits. I never ever saw anything like it. If you like sports, but you don't like baseball, are you going to tweet about it all day long? No. If you like music and you like hip hop and you like rap, but you don't like dubstep, are you going to tweet about dubstep all day long? No. Well, I like wrestling, but I can't stand AEW, so let me write about it all day long. That is just people desperate for attention. Fuck that. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I don't care. Like I said, you know, if I want to be the center of attention, I'll go follow 100,000 people on social media in the next month and get 80% of them to follow me back, and then I'll go to everybody in the world. Look, everybody, I just broke 100,000 followers. Look at me. I'm such a popular person. My thoughts of Jordan Grace being a free agent. Her saying WWE is a dream. Yeah, I could see Jordan Grace in WWE. Absolutely. She's extremely talented. You know, she's very outspoken in her personal views. But I like Jordan Grace. I think Jordan Grace would work out quite nicely in WWE. I tell you the truth, I think Jordan Grace would probably be awesome in NXT. I mean, I could see some very interesting matches. I could see her with Io Shirai. I could see her with Raquel Gonzalez. I could see her tearing it up with a few women in NXT. So, best version of Batista. I liked when he was in Evolution. I like Batista. I mean, you know, a little over the top with his political views sometimes because he trying to kind of like guilts people for having a certain view on certain things with politics. But, oh yeah, she would have to drop Patreon. She would have to drop OnlyFans. Yeah, that's a given. But you know what? If that's your lifelong dream, you drop that stuff. Plain and simple. So, yeah, Batista right after Evolution was great as well. Batista's always been good. You know, the Deacon Batista stuff was fun. Even though it was wrestle crap. But anyway, we're going to close out the night with some old school DT. Now, I'll just paint this picture. You'll see the extended promo. Now, I know we're doing things backwards. Next week, you'll see the incident with the dog getting dropped on his head. And then, but at the end of the night, everything worked out really nice. It was fun, family entertainment. You'll see I brought the dog out and kids were crying, happy and everything. It was fun. So today, we were cutting a promo and Reefer got laid out. And Vinny DeGuido was laughing because we were talking about the dog getting dropped on his head. So, you know, we did what we did with Vinny DeGuido. I brightened the outside lights as best as I could because they didn't have outside lighting. So you could see virtually nothing. The funny thing is that Lincoln is the one I still have now. We did another segment with Vinny where we threw him in the trunk, closed the trunk, and sped down the road, and I almost hit a dumpster with my car. Would have been funny if that would have happened. Also, what you're going to see here is Reefer, Jay Lover having a match, and I'm managing him. You'll see me get dumped on my ass a couple of times. And then there's an after-match beatdown. And here's the thing about the after-match beatdown. I got handcuffed. I got whipped with a belt. Jason Static was always a good guy there. But there was something weird going on. Even though I was being the biggest asshole, because you saw last week that I brought the cannolis out, and that one side of the building we're all heel, and I'm feeding and giving drinks to one side of the building, everybody else is just watching. Even though that was going on, people started cheering my stuff more and more and more in the neighborhood. I don't know why. And they started booing Jason Static even more. And as you will see in this clip today, they were calling him Chris Benoit. And it caught him by surprise because no one had ever called him Chris Benoit before, the way he looked. And this was right after the tragedy. So when you hear Jason's response to it, like after, he's like, wow, I felt so awkward out there. Because he's telling the fans, like, show some respect to the man. Chris Benoit just committed murder, you know? So when I got knocked on my ass and handcuffed and beat up a little bit, they were talking about doing a match the next show. It was going to be a 6-man. And I ended up competing in that match. I haven't played it yet for all of you. But it was all going to be based on one thing. At the very end of the beatdown, they were going to give the microphone to me. And I was going to say that between now and the next show, if I have to train every day, because everybody knew I wasn't a wrestler. Everybody knew I didn't know how to wrestle. But I said on the microphone that if I have to train every day from now to the next show, then I'm going to train and beat the crap out of them. Based on that reaction was going to tell if I was going to be in a match or not. And if the crowd didn't, warm up to it, if the crowd was indifferent, if the crowd shitted on it, then there would have been no match whatsoever involving me. I would have just managed. But after I said what I said, you'll see the reaction, and to be continued. So, but like I said, next week you'll see the footage with the dog and the other stuff. But this is pretty good. I think you'll really enjoy this. I actually looked back at this one, and I actually was like, okay, I think out of all the clips so far, even though that chair shot that I showed you last week was the worst, I ever experienced. Being sick that night multiple times. This, though, I got to tell you, I actually think it was not all that bad. So sit back and enjoy. Let me put this chat room back up here. And let me pause this. Let's see. I have to make this a little smaller, this screen. So hold on. Because I definitely, all right, you know what? I'll make this smaller. Because I want the chat room to be up here as well. So let me see how this looks. Okay, all right. So because it's not high definition, so all I got to do is that. Yeah, that's good. Do that. That should be good. I think that's good. Let's go here. All right. Yeah. I think that's good enough. All right. Enjoy, everybody. He grabbed his nuts.
Was that reefer? You know what? I got a surprise for you. Watch.
Nice kick.
Good luck making it to the match tonight, you jerk. It looks like Grim Reaper won't be making it tonight. Just another day, just another muscle. Later, Reaper.
The jacket.
All right, gentlemen, I'm here. This is Jerry Fitzwater here.
Look at that hair.
We have Jay Lover and Don Tony. Now, Jay Lover, you have a match with Sabotage. And I have a question. Where is Grim Reaper? What happened to Grim Reaper? You have to tell me.
What happened to Grim Reaper was, unfortunately, we got here a little late. He got here early, went for a piss break, take a quick leak, and he gets cheap shotted blindsided coming out the bathroom by Sabotage. Big mistake, buddy. Little kid, actually, you little 4-foot chihuahua. When I get you in the ring tonight, I'm gonna break your neck. You never seen me like this. I'm pissed off. This is legit. This is a shoot, brother. I'm gonna hurt you bad. I'm gonna hurt you. Break it.
And what about Carmine, man?
Carmine, when he dropped him on the show.
Dropped him on your head? Let me tell you something. We're going to treat you like a little dog tonight. You watch and see.
How did Carmine's butt too?
Gentlemen, what is that?
What are you laughing at?
The dog. You know what? Oh, he's got brown on his teeth.
Do your job and hold his mic for a minute. What was so funny about someone actually dropping a dog on his head? What's wrong with that?
Funny?
It's not funny.
Wait, but you don't understand.
You know what?
Wait,
this guy caught me at the wrong time.
No, you don't understand. Wait, take it to the car. Take it back. You want to take it back? No, take it back. Wait, I take it back.
I had to edit a little of this, so we didn't have any music issues, by the way.
Oh my God! All right. So follow.
See, I tried to make it a little lighter.
This is what's gonna happen to you, Sabotage.
Please, gentlemen, it's not necessary.
Stick his head.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No.
Sabotage.
No.
Best bodies in the business. Watch. Please watch real good.
Tried to close it on his head.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Yo, you don't understand.
I swear to God, if you ever look our way, smirk or anything, you think...
The minute we come in this building,
I'll
you go the other
slam
way.
Guys, money. Guys, I promise. Yo, you want money? I'll give you guys anything.
I need your money.
Yo. Just don't kill me. Don't. Please. I don't want to end up in a body. Please don't. No.
Get out of my trunk.
Best bodies in the business. Basically, what I'm saying is this. That could happen to you tonight, Sabotage. Trust me. You're in for the beating of your life. OZHB ain't playing. We're coming for you. We're coming.
Oh, and Tony Lowe, you're a little bit pissed off because we didn't bring you to VPW. You're supposed to be family. And now you're lining yourself up with this best bodies. You're nothing but a mutt. Where we come from in Howard Beach, you're a mutt. You're nothing but a straight. I don't know why the audio sync is off a little, but I apologize for that. Watch what happens, Mr. Lowe. Welcome to OZHB. You should know better. You should know better. Watch what happens to you, son.
You're in for it.
Should have closed it.
Oh dear God, I don't know what we've seen here, but we gotta get going. I am worried about Sabotage tonight. Back to you.
See, I had to adjust this a little bit because of the music, so.
Marvelous Mac Daddy
Tony Lowe.
Just warming up. Those are just his warm-up sets.
Now, there's a story behind this. As you know, Grim Reaper is not here tonight.
Yeah, like I said, there's an episode where I did commentary for like 10 minutes. I don't remember it at all.
Attacking Grim Reaper as he exited the bathroom.
Yeah, technically, Near, I'm a baby face in this. Watch.
Heard some threatening words from Grim Reaper's friend and manager, Jay Lover.
Tony Lowe is really good guy. So is Sabotage. Jason Static too. But these two guys were some of the nicest guys, man. Coolest guys around.
He's being accompanied to the ring by Don-Tony from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 210 pounds, Jay Lover.
Jay Lover with Don-Tony. Trying to get some revenge. As you remember in the last show, Sabotage cat.
I look like that cat, right, in the video?
Yes, Carmine.
And Jay Lover took care of Sabotage.
We'll see if Tony Lowe can lead Sabotage to a victory here.
Oh, here's Don-Tony accompanying Jay Lover. Like we mentioned last time, Jay Lover fresh out of prison. You don't want to mess with a man right out of prison.
Yeah, it was true. He really was in prison.
Oh my goodness. He is the Don-Tony of VPW.
This was fun, man. I just, like I said, I had to edit some of the music out because of what, we don't want any issues.
Jay Lover. What?
That would be
Hobos?
ozone hobos. Like
You'll see the next show. I picked one of the guys up and carried him to the back. It was pretty funny. I didn't realize I ran with him on my shoulders. It was pretty funny. No, Zelly and I was putting stuff together so quickly today because I didn't even realize I found the footage till late, so that's why the audio is slightly off. They chant Michael Vick because he dropped the dog on his head the show before.
Sabotage, known as the Michael Vick of DPW. Oh my goodness, taunting him. Taunting Sabotage.
That was a bit of a mistake right there.
The fans questioning the citizenship of Sabotage.
He just oh my God, right into the clothesline there by Jay Lover.
Don Tony rocking that.
And now he told to Don Tony.
Rocking his.
Not a very good idea.
Rocking his John Gotti shirt. His hero, I hear.
This crowd was hot for this show.
Oh, look at the fan interaction. All the fans getting a taste of that. Tony Lowe scurrying away. He doesn't want none of that. Oh my goodness, he's stiff. He's taking out his aggressions. He's taking out his aggressions from prison in the ring where it's legal.
And Don Tony and Jay Lover have made it perfectly clear that they have something in store for Sabotage tonight.
I think that person gave me their phone number. That was a woman. No joke.
Being taken care of.
Chalupa.
Oh. There's a suplex. Oh,
catapult.
Oh, nice catapult suplex.
By Jay Lover. Tony looking a little frustrated. Don Tony and Tony going at it. Goodness.
Tony Lowe, one of the best corner men in the business. Hired by the best bodies in.
This was so much fun, man.
Jay Lover. Oh, we got straddled. Oh, look at that kick by Sabotage. Oh. Impressive springboard.
One thing that Sabotage knows how to do is to wear down bigger men.
You suck dog dick, because I remember I put the Bronco Buster, the balls were right in his face. They chanted, you suck dog dick.
I'll tell you, we'll win that argument. But he does wear his opponents down, the bigger opponents down, using an array of moves.
You're right. He's gotten used to it, Earl. More often than not, he's the smaller man in the ring, but that doesn't stop him.
We've seen Sabotage take down much bigger opponents.
Oh, he chopped him into the corner.
Oh, Seth Rollins, Sting style.
Like Jay Lover. Oh my gosh, he just kicked him square in the head, Earl.
Jay Lover could go, man.
Another kick. Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to run.
Looks hurt. Jay Lover with the upper head. Wait, look at Don Tony. Don Tony is picking out Tony Lowe.
Tony Lowe.
Oh, look. Setting up.
Sabotage. Springboard. Oh, an incredible move. Taking all three out. Incredible.
I remember going like this.
Unbelievable move.
You kick me in the head, that's prick.
That's how he takes advantage of his agility.
Kick me in the fucking head.
Sabotage thinks he has it in the bag.
I try not to look till the very last second. You'll see some better ones in the future. You know what made me feel good? They didn't chant anything negative to me at all. Not once.
So delicious. Oh! He got the cannoli tray, Earl. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Where did he come from? He stole the cannoli tray from Don Tony. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on, Earl. That's not fair. Oh, he's attacking Don Tony.
Here comes WrestleCrap.
They hit him with the cannoli tray. He's laid out. Without Grim Reaper here, what are they going to do?
What is this?
Oh, Heartless. Oh, my God. Handcuffs by Tony. Tony Lowe has them.
I got handcuffed.
Tony Lowe and Joe's so delicious. They handcuffed Don Tony and Grim Reaper. There's nothing they can do. Grim Reaper's gone.
He's not here tonight. Oh dear God, I don't like the look of this. Elsie Green, I do not.
This is just, oh my God.
I'm being choked.
This is heartless. The fans question where Reaper is. A heartless attack. Just stop this.
I'm getting, that one hurt.
Best ball to eat.
See, let me tell you something, everybody. You know, all these other people out there, you know, that like to tweet all these fake lives, looking back on this, even though some of this was not very good, the fact that I was able to experience it is something you can never take back. That's why I always say, go for it. Even if it's not the greatest, go for it. It's better to experience it. Even if you fail, even if it's not that great, the last thing you want to do is look back on it years later and say, oh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I had so much fun. And this is not over yet. Watch what happens next.
Something to do with this. With Grim Reaper's attack.
The best ever! Best fighting!
Come on, just stop.
I'm handcuffed.
Stop this. Man.
This is what happens when you mess with the best in the business. Best fighting, Joe Delicious. My man, the quarterman of champions.
Oh man, he wants the attention.
Himself, baby. Saba freaking Todd.
Saba freaking Todd? Oh.
Before we get to anything else,
oh, Joe's so delicious.
time for a little Q&A.
Q&A with Don Tony.
Don Tony, who do you think will be in the dog this month? How's about you suck my...
Oh my goodness. Oh. Look at this. Look at this.
I obviously wasn't going to say dick.
They're just rubbing it in. Wow.
Now,
they're just rubbing it in.
matters at hand. Mac Daddy Flex. Since Grim Reaper's too much of a coward to show up tonight, you, my man, are the ones going to come into this ring and get laid out like Jay Lover, like Don Tony. So when you come out here and you get your medicine,
Oh, here's Mac Daddy Black with the chair, an equalizer. He's got an equalizer to the save of Jay Lover and Don Tony. Oh my,
So Fly, I got my ass kicked and it's not over.
And there we have it.
These two have a history. We saw them meet up at the Glory for the Gold tournament. Oh, they're chasing each other to the back.
What is going on?
It ain't over.
Don't tell you.
Jay Lover's
They gave us a lot of time. Watch. Ah, here we go. Shit hurt, man. I'm like, man, this freaking hurts, but it feels good. And I'm obviously talking over the music for a reason. Ah, here we go. Here we go.
Oh my goodness. Jason Static's out here. With the
I told him to take my belt.
And a rose in his mouth.
Watch. I'm handcuffed. I can't go anywhere, Steve. Yeah, watch.
Showing all the gold.
I didn't realize all the music that was playing. This was 2008, I think. Little trivia. I managed in the title match for the first ever title over there. True story. Timmy Austin. Yeah, the belt was nice, actually. He was one of their baby faces there, and like I said, people started cheering for us and started booing him. So within 2-3 weeks or 2-3 shows, it changed.
Easy there. Let her in nicely. Let her in nicely.
Shay Lover and Don Tony can't do anything.
Don't think when I take my shirt. Stay right there.
Whoa. Let's get a little hot in here. Winter chill.
You're getting a little hot there, buddy. A little hot.
Whoa, I got a little hot. What's wrong with me, yo? Look at where those roses are. What the heck is going on?
Hold on. This is what I like to do in the bedroom sometimes. So just watch this one.
Oh, come on.
He hit me with the buckle, that prick. He hit me with the freaking buckle, I swear to God.
Oh, my God.
I get a little rough in the bedroom sometimes.
Come on.
Okay. So you know, baby, I'm your 12-month calendar man with that gorgeous golden brown tan. So let me twirl you around. Hold on.
He's a gentleman. He is a gentleman of sorts. But I wouldn't trust him. Oh, look at her.
She was laying right next to me, too. I tried to get a peek.
I'm going to go right here for you. All right?
Whoa, what is this?
I got a fat ass.
Close your eyes. As I hypnotize.
Oh, my God. Look at you putting the smooth moves on.
Ready? Are you ready? Honey, you're not worth a single thing, baby.
Oh, come on.
And dream because you will never, ever have me.
Oh, come on, that's a young, nice, lovely lady.
Hit my music as I leave this ring right now. You stay there. Stay where you like, on your knees.
Oh, come on, that's just insulting. Jason Static. A terrible human being.
The crowd was so freaking awesome, and as the shows progressed, months later, it got better and better and better. He used to get pelted with garbage. All right, here's where the crowd was going to determine if I was going to be in a match. You'll see. Let's see.
Best bodies, this ain't over. Fight a long shot. Wait till March, buddy. Wait till March. Yes, I did my time, but you know what? I'm gonna bring a prison fight to use here. Yeah, baby. Get out of there now. Now give me the key so I can get out of here. Yeah, please. Thank God.
Here we go.
If I have to train every goddamn day until March 8th, I am gonna step in this ring and beat the living shit out of each and every one of you. Son of a bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will take a...
It's not over!
Push him again! 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 Push him again!
At this time, we will take a brief intermission.
There you go. There you go. Not bad. Not bad. Let me fix the chat room. The screen was a little off this time around, but the audio I think fixed itself towards the end. But see what I mean, man? You know, again, I'm not trying to be a jerk in any way, but you see my point with this stuff. You know, coming here to YouTube, you know, going to video. You know, being able to branch out a little bit, be a little animated, have a little visual. I would not be able to show you any of this stuff. All those years of doing audio only, I wanted to go video several years ago. It didn't work out. Hey, it's, you know, it's nothing you could do about that. But you see this, like I said, I have I was with them for almost 3 years. So, you know, we're not doing it in any particular order, but as I find footage, as I find vignettes, as I find little things, I'm going to share with you. But, you know, I look back on it, and was it very good? No, but, you know, you see, like I say, that's why I always, you know, it makes me so sad to see people that just live on Twitter. You know, this is something you can never take away. You know, and I only did it for a handful of years. I mean, I kind of regret, you know, not doing more. Maybe I get a second chance on it. But the thing that makes me feel good the most, number one, you're enjoying it. Number two, we could laugh at it. Number three, you look back on it, crowd didn't complain. Did anybody make a joke about me, insult me, put it down? Everybody enjoyed it, and they let me do what I wanted to do. You know, so it might, in the end, it probably still wasn't very good, but that is what I loved, the creative, the privilege of being creative and letting me do what I want to do. When you see the vignettes and you see little promos and little things going down, that's usually the promoters say, guys, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. One of the greatest memories that I ever had, and if any of you ever out there talk to Jay Lover, he will tell you, one of the greatest memories I ever had was picking up Jay Lover and going to a 99-cent store on Cross Bay Boulevard. And we were buying little glass trinkets. We were buying all these things. Then we went to Home Depot and he bought mouse traps and he bought this and bought that. And we just, for about 3 hours, whatever we wanted to use, whatever we wanted to buy, it was up to us. And they let us do it. And that was the thing that was so wonderful about it. You know, the handcuffs, I always told them, because I knew, you know, even though I was going to the school at the time, I knew that I wasn't accepted like everybody else. They knew about my physical condition that I couldn't do. But I told all those wrestlers, whenever you come across to me, if you do something to me, go all in. Do not worry about me. I will be okay. They dove on me, chair shots, punches, kicks. Remember the turnbuckle thing last week? If any of you did not see the thing last week, look last week again when I got smashed 10 times into the turnbuckle. I told them before, I'm like, just lay it in. I can handle it. And I'm fine today. You know, no brain damage. And yes, now I'm about 60 pounds lighter. So, you know, the pain is a lot less. I don't know what the neck is like since then. But, yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And like I said, it was just a really weird situation because some of the stuff I was doing there, you know, I should have gotten threats from people. Instead, they were warming up to us. And within 2 or 3 shows, you know, we were the good guys, and Jason Static and the other guy Sabotage. That guy, little guy Sabotage, they were saying Chalupa. I managed him a couple of matches. You'll see me managing him. And it just turned. It just turned. The crowd completely turned. And if anybody says, well, you know, you had your family and your friends there, no. After that one time when I had the quarter of the building blocked off from my friends and family, they got so pissed off at that, you know, the people there, that I said, I can't put my brother or his wife or my little nieces or, you know, people that aren't even wrestling. I'm not going to put them in a situation where, you know, somebody gets a little bit out of hand, has a couple extra beers. And so, you know, my brother would come to my shows, but he would usually just sit incognito and I would not acknowledge him. But, you know, it was wonderful, man. I had a great night. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. I don't know. These are pretty, every night that we are here is nice. Thursday's different. I don't know what it is. Thursdays we come in with an open mind, nothing really on the agenda, and we have some fun. I'm really enjoying the Thursday nights. But everyone, have a great night. As I always say on the way out, if you enjoyed the episode, give it a thumbs up. And if you're around Friday night, I will be here again, 10:05. Friday will be much easier because we'll just do a SmackDown recap, predictions for Fastlane, maybe predictions for NWA, and the ratings. That's my plan. Those 4 things, 3 or 4 things, and we're done. Keep it simple, Friday. Keep it simple. Will I be doing a pay-per-view recap after Fastlane? Yes. Hopefully, the show will be very smooth. Hopefully, you know, it won't be so complex. Let's see if The Fiend makes his return. Let's see if Brock Lesnar shows, which I don't think. I'd rather see him on Raw, but who knows? But everyone, have a great night. And extreme congrats again for winning the contest. Make sure you email me, DonTony at DonTony.com with your shipping info. And I'm out of here. So, everyone, put this back like we started, and I will catch you all again Friday night. Good night, everybody. Oh, and by the way, if you have friends out there that you think would enjoy the episodes, even the old stuff, let them know. Let them know about it. Maybe we'll get some additional subscribers here. So, good night, everybody. Be well. Talk to you soon. Ciao.